What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the FPL video. My name is Mo, and today I'll be going through the player watch list for Game Week 16. So which players I'm looking at the moment, which players I've identified, who are doing well, who have better fixtures lined up, and who I think we should be targeting around this busy Christmas period to get into our squads to make them look better and hopefully get us those points, which will help us move up with the green arrow and get to that #1 spot in the FPL game itself. But before we begin, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, you're new around here or you've been here before, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't liked the video, give us a like as well before we get stuck into the content. So let's go through my first pick for this game week, Bernardo Silva. So at the moment, I've gone triple City in terms of defence and goalkeeper, so I don't have the player unless I get rid of a City player to get him back into my squad. So Bernardo Silva this season, highest scoring midfielder for City so far. In absence of Kevin De Bruyne, kind of took over the baton like Gundogan did last season. A lot of players are looking at Gundogan as well. But at the moment, I've got the next next 6 weeks of FPL games, because they're not every week, are they? There's going to be multi-games during like 3 and 7 days, for example, for teams. So I've got till the 1st of January what fixtures teams have lined up, and these are what the fixtures are for Manchester City. Now, there is a risk of rotation, obviously, due to the fixture pile-up, but I think, with Bernardo Silva also being categorised as his best player by Guardiola himself, I think Pep won't rotate him too much. I think there will be rotation, but that's where your bench comes into play to make sure you have players who can cover if a player like Bernardo Silva or any other FPL player, because all players will be given a rest for sure, have those players to come on to cover those players. So they've got Wolves this weekend, Leeds next week, Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford and Arsenal. So all manageable fixtures for me, plenty of points available for him. And let's go through some underlying stats from him as well. So at the time of recording this video, he's owned by 21.1% of managers. We'll also go through his total points tally is 84 this season, which gives him a staggering 5.6 points per match, which I love. As you guys know, is my favourite stat. Let's go through some XG and XA. So expected goals, 0.33, and expected assist, 0.24. It's phenomenal. He's looking in great touch. And if you're looking to get like a City midfielder in, for example, Phil Foden, there's Grealish as well. But Bernardo Silva, for me, is at the moment on another level. So if I was going to be tearing up my squad, going away from those one of the three defenders / goalkeepers of Man City that I did have, it certainly would be Bernardo Silva that I'd be targeting to bring to my squad. Now, the next player that I'm looking at this week, who I've actually brought into my squad, is Jarrod Bowen. I've been, iffing and ahhing, butting, should I get him in, should I not? I think it was more of the fixtures versus Rafinha fixtures, which kind of put me off that transfer a lot earlier. Now, is this temporarily, just a temporary transfer? Is this a permanent transfer? This is going to be decided on how he performs. The reason why I got rid of Rafinha was the fact that the fixtures now got tough for Leeds. I know Bamford's back, but Chelsea, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and I think it was Arsenal in the next 4 game weeks. It's a tough run. Let's have a look at West Ham's fixtures, as you guys can see on the screen. You got Burnley, Arsenal away will be a tough game, Norwich at home, Southampton at home, and Watford away. So it's a great time for me to double up on West Ham, so Antonio as well in there, potentially, they're going to be the best attacking returns options. They've got Crystal Palace away, which is a tough game in New Year's as well. So for me, that's why I've gone for Bowen in my squad. Let's go through some stats for him and how well he's done, because this weekend I watched the Chelsea game this morning, actually, and he certainly could have got another goal. Just couldn't reach that outstretched foot of the ball. Couldn't get anything on the ball himself when Antonio squared it across the box. But he was phenomenal, getting into the right places, playing forward. And I think he's definitely a vital part of West Ham's success so far this season. And I think, already 10 returns in 15 games, that's a really, really good performance from someone like him, who's only, worth 6.4 million in price, which is a bargain, to be fair, considering players worth a lot more. For example, in terms of value, haven't got that much return so far this season. For example, Raheem Sterling, where you're paying nearly double the price and he hasn't got let alone half the returns that he's got already so far this season. So let's go through some stats. At the moment, he's owned by 3.7% of managers at the time of recording this video, which is, again, a nice differential, but I do expect those to go up in, ownership over the next couple of weeks. So I think, with the performances he'll have and the fixture run he has, he will be targeted by more FPL managers, because a lot of people have set up their teams till game week 16. But then after, they'll look to obviously move on and set their squads up in regards to that. And also wildcard will be kind of like updating soon in a couple of game weeks. So that will play a major part in it as well. 71 points this season, as we're looking at the screen here. 4.7 points per match on average, which is actually quite good for the price you're paying for this player. And let's go through some expected goals. So XG, 0.35, and XA, expected assists, of being 0.18. So not bad at all. Likes to be involved, vocally involved in the team, and he is someone to definitely target. So that's why I brought him into my squad, and Gerard Bowen is someone you should be looking at as well. Now next, we have Cristiano Ronaldo. So a lot of players, FPL managers, I would say, are actually right now, they had the decision to, move away from KANE, which is the original kind of plan for them. So the original plan could have been to move away from KANE to, I don't know, it's hard to say. KANE to Ronaldo at that point was kind of like the whole plan for FPL managers. But, Ronaldo recently, he didn't score last week, I know, but he has scored and, in and out of games. So he has scored in the Arsenal game, he has scored in the Champions League, so he's he's the top scorer for Manchester United, and I don't think he's going to be rotated as much. He might get the odd rest here and there, but for the price you're paying for him, is he worth the value? We'll put it this way: if you invested in KANE for 3-4 weeks for 12.2 mil, half a million, well, not even half now, I think a couple 0.2, 0.3 mil more, I think it'll be a good chance to buy him right now. Just look at his fixtures below. Norwich away, no disrespect. Brentford away, Brighton at home, Newcastle away, and Burnley at home. Really good fixtures, and I think, potentially out of those next 6 games at least, maybe I could see 4 returns, maybe 5 returns. So we're due a big haul from Ronaldo. Now, in terms of ownership, we can go through it with you. So 28.2%, that's quite high for Ronaldo right now, considering when he was first brought into the game, he had high ownership, then it went down obviously due to form and fixtures, and now it's on the rise again, so that's really crucial. 58 points so far this season, 5.27 points per match, which is, it's an eye-opener for me because I didn't expect it to be that high, with expected goals at 0.64 and expected assists at 0.14, and he's on penalties as well now, so that makes him even more attractive of a prospect for me. Will I bring him into my squad is a question. I'm so tempted, but I'd have to sacrifice Antonio for that and then keep Joshua King as my other striker. Now, do I want to do that? It's something I don't want to do at the moment, but let's say after game week 17, he's got a bag of returns and, I do knee-jerk. There is a likelihood I could do that. Other Manchester United players at the moment that you can look at, for example, defensively, there's no Shaw or Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the moment in the squad, but, you got Dalot, Diego Dalot, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He played really well yesterday. Could get a bit more of a run. Played in the Champions League as well. I've got a few stats for him lined up at the moment. So he's less than, less than 0.3% owned. 11 points so far this season, 1.8 points per match. Not great in terms of that. Expected goals 0.06 and expected assists 0.02, but he does like to whip the ball in. So defensively, Dalot's a good shout as well if you're looking for someone around the 4.4 mil mark, but the price will go up because people will transfer him in. De Gea's a good shout. Defensively, United haven't kept many clean sheets, but I think with the new setup in United, the new manager, they'll be defensively quite sound, and the press that Ronaldo gave during that game, I think even he's pressing now as well. So Ronaldo's going to be a good shout, guys, regardless. But for me as a Manchester United fan, it's just a pleasure to sit back and watch him score goals. I'm not too fussed whether I have him in FPL or not. If I do, great. If I don't, I'm still going to enjoy it regardless of that. So keep a lookout for CR7. He might be a good shout for you guys to bring in. Now, moving on to Son. So the new era of Tottenham, it's barring that one defeat they had in the Europa League against Moura, I think it was. They've not done too bad, They've done all right. What a goal by Lucas Moura, though, by the way, whilst I was talking about Moura. That was a phenomenal goal. What a shot. I think that might be a goal of the month contender. But Son's been incredible. Incredible. So far, again, got some returns this week. Mr. Consistent outperformed KANE over these last 4 game weeks. KANE's been a disappointment. 1 goal, 1 assist in that 1 game against Newcastle. The rest, he's been absolutely blanked. So, is Son the answer? Can you save a bit of money? Of course. Those fixtures don't look too bad either. Brighton away, it's a tough game. Leicester away, it looks tough on paper, but Leicester haven't been that great defensively, and they haven't kept a clean sheet since the first game of this season. Liverpool at home will be a great game. Now, can Conte get a reaction from them? that'd be a fantastic game. Last season, Jose couldn't get it. Oh, well, they were level at half time, and then obviously Kane got injured, both ankles or something along those lines. But this is going to be a good game, that game week. And then they've got obviously Crystal Palace, Southampton, Watford. So Son will be a really, really good prospect to have. At 10 million, 2 million cheaper than Kane as well. So let's go through some underlying background stats for him. So 20.8% of managers own him at the moment. 81 points he's got. 5.4 points per matches, which is staggering for the price you're paying. It's not too bad, actually. 0.11 is his expected assists, and expected goals is 0.35, which again is not too bad. But that's the same as Bowen that we have, who's like literally 4 mil cheaper. So that's something to consider as well. But Son, we know how Mr. Reliable and consistent he is. And with those fixtures coming up for Spurs, might be a good shout to have him in. Obviously, people are looking at defensively Reguilon, who's won't be out for too long, according to him on Twitter. But we'll have to monitor his progress. You've got players like Ben Davies to look at as well. Maybe Hugo Lloris if you want to upgrade your goalkeeper. So there's a lot to look forward to in terms of Spurs as well. But for me, at the moment, if you're going to look to target someone from Spurs, it has to be Son indeed with those fixtures lined up. So these are some of the players that I'm looking at the moment. But in terms of myself, I've brought in Bowen this week for Rafinha due to the fixtures. And as I discussed in my team selection video, which we discussed yesterday, you guys can see that that's what my squad looks like for this game week. I'm so tempted to bring in Bowen, but who for? King, I do want to give a chance against Brentford. So let's watch out for this space. So these are the players that I'm looking at. There are also other players that you could look at during this week. Are there any players that I've discussed that I've not looked at, or I haven't discussed and you're looking at the moment? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are on the players discussed. I hope you're having a good week so far. Best of luck with your team selection. Good luck for Game Week 16. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to FPL INKLING. Join the family and let's grow together. And if you haven't liked the video, give us a like if you liked it as well. Hit that code in and join the FPL INKLING League and let's have a great season. And best of luck for this game week. Till then, take care. I'll be back with some more content.